Hey everyone, this is the SSW AI team. Welcome to our Sprint 14 review in retro and Sprint 15 forecast. Let's jump right into it. Looking at our sprint goals for Sprint 14 review and retro, our goals were to ship the Crystal Ball homepage, which I have completed, and for Sophie GPT to go live. Now, there were a few issues that blocked the Sophie GPT live deployment, but we'll cover that later.
Okay, I'm glad you worked on this, and I'm glad you say it's done.
Yep.
Have I seen it?
No, to my understanding, you wanted a V4 done video, so I was going to record that. And show
Yes, but I also want to look at some data with a couple of people.
Yeah.
And that would give you more changes as well, you know?
Awesome.
Yeah.
In that case, I can show you after this meeting.
Okay.
Sweet. So going through the internal hours for this week was Caleb and myself on the project for 5 days and Luke on it for 2. Going down to our sprint backlog, the main items to call out are the homepage with portal buttons. So I will jump over to our GitHub backlog, and there it is. So going through, this is what our current homepage looks like. So zooming in, we have a homepage with the tagline that says, "See who's been doing what," with a little supporting word at the bottom, and then an open portal button that leads you to the portal itself. It goes through a brief summary of what the integrations are, what Crystal Ball does, and gives you an example insight, and then a call to action at the bottom. I had this checked and test passed by Alex, and obviously I'll go through the whole thing with you after.
Could I see that again?
Yes.
So you're at the top.
Oh, this is the top.
And this is the new homepage.
Yes.
So the new homepage, why doesn't this feel like a homepage? I don't know why.
So I spoke with you last week, and this is basically taking inspiration from Yak Shaver's page, which is technically a marketing page here.
So this is the new homepage for Crystal Ball.
Yes.
No way. This doesn't feel like a homepage. But anyway, scroll down.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. Now, I guess now we get to see this. This probably should be higher. It's the first visual thing.
Okay.
I'm not sure what I can see there quickly about Bob.
Well, you can see their hours in terms of billable versus internal split, how many points they've delivered, and how long they roughly spend on each point.
I think, first of all, it'd be nice if there's a picture of Bob.
Right.
And you had a picture of a person next to you, and then underneath it could show something like Bob's mainly working on GitHub in a certain area, and Mary's mostly working on design.
Got it.
On Azure DevOps.
So just a bit more comprehensive of a.
Just so you can see, a comparison, I guess.
Right. So comparison is a different UI. So maybe I can show you after this meeting of what it looks like, and we can see if we want to add that to the homepage as a sample insight.
Okay. Just for you to know,
Yep.
I am trying to make sure everybody gets off email and onto GitHub or DevOps, and I'm trying to see how much work we're doing in DevOps versus GitHub. So I'm not really, like, that's an individual view, but it doesn't give me a holistic view. Okay. Which is what I thought it'd see, but that's okay.
Okay.
All right.
I can note that down, and then I'll go ahead and adjust it. Moving back, the next thing to call out was that we had a bug with Crystal Ball that caused for the, I believe it is, there it is, the compare users functionality would fail, and then it would silently not have any error message. So it gives off the impression that it's still loading or something along those lines. So I've gone through and added an error message if it can't retrieve the data in that specific date range.
Okay, you need a warning emoji?
Right. I'll add a warning emoji to that afterwards, but
I don't think you need so many words. I think no comparison data can be found. I don't think you need 4 selected users in this period.
Okay. And then I've also fixed the routing bug that was causing for compare users to break. So now it's working again.
Right. I've never seen these screens, but that's good.
Yeah. I can actually show you after this.
Oh, that's cool.
Sweet. The next thing to call out is something Eddie was working on with setting up the local LLM and Hermes agent on that LLM. So if you want to cover that.
Yeah. So this is a continuation of the local LLM work. We did the initial setup a couple of weeks ago with like unlocking the full memory pool. And now we're able to run models, and a way to use those models is with Hermes agent, which is just like a newer version of a better version of OpenClaw.
What's it called?
Hermes agent.
Hermes agent.
And so, okay, so we've completely switched topics here.
Yeah, it's a different part.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
So yeah, I installed it and set it up with the local models. We can theoretically use it at no cost, with no cloud costs. Although it's a little bit slow at the moment because
How did we switch from OpenClaw to Hermes agent?
this is just so this is sort of a separate task to
Yeah.
OpenClaw, but we're thinking of
But aren't we working on OpenClaw versus Copilot Studio at the moment? How did we switch onto a new one?
well, this is just more for the local LLM setup, and I just wanted something to demonstrate what we can
Right.
do with local LLMs.
And why are you doing that? Who's asked you to do that?
Mehmet.
But Mehmet's not the programmer of this team,
No, he's not.
so he can just randomly ask for something and then
Well, yeah, I've sort of been ad hoc on this team, and we've
Right.
been wanting to get the local LLM stuff set up for a while.
Okay.
Um,
Callum, are you across this request?
Yeah, sort of.
Sort of.
I mean, I
Did you
didn't
approve
ask
it?
for any of the crystal ball stuff either, I would note. But yeah, look, generally, I think it's a good idea to play around with. Guess I'm on board with it.
Okay. I guess I'm worried that we haven't shipped our Sophie bot GPT, and we haven't shipped the OpenClaw, and now we're switching to a new thing, and we didn't even get the last thing right. You know, like it's obviously we want to do local LLMs, so there's nothing wrong with that. It's just switching tasks without official, authorization from Callum, I think is not right.
right. I think the main task for these local LLMs was just getting some kind of proof of concept.
Right. And maybe that's the right thing to do, maybe, but
yeah, sure, I understand.
Yeah, just call up Callum and say, I want to add your name to the check by, I'm switching off this to this. So what is happening with OpenClaw? Is that now being retired?
So we had a discussion on this, and we're thinking that Hermes agent might be better than OpenClaw just from what's it called? From anecdotal experience. So we'll obviously need to look into that before we can come out with like a proper verdict and maybe write a rule on what we recommend. But we're thinking that Hermes agent might be a good thing to also offer as a consulting service alongside OpenClaw perhaps.
Yeah, that's great. So local online, yep, put it on the consulting page, that's great. But what about for SSW users?
So it would need some testing to determine for SSW users or for Sophie Claw specifically, which one would be better.
Was there any concerns at all with OpenClaw? Was there something that OpenClaw was doing that you weren't comfortable about?
I think the way it stores secrets is pretty bad.
Yeah.
They're just stored in plain text, and anyone can access.
Right. So that was that a showstopper? And Hermes doesn't do it.
Yeah, Hermes doesn't do that. Hermes has a better secret set up.
Well, that's a good reason.
Yeah.
So, and that's what I would have caught up Callum with.
Okay.
So I think just do, even though better late than never. So do the email.
Mhm.
So as per our conversation, checked by Callum. We are. I'm not even sure. Are we switching from OpenClaw? We're not going to do the OpenClaw one.
I think we need to do a spike on it just to figure out if it's actually notably better, and then we can determine.
Okay. Are you prepared to ship OpenClaw to all SSW users, knowing about the secret problem?
I would say yes, because it would purely be internally used,
Yes.
and there are ways to mitigate the risk, but obviously the risk still exists because your secrets are stored in plain text. But if it's purely for internal use, I would be prepared to ship it, knowing that risk.
Okay. And Callum, you're okay? Do you concur with what Michael Hugh just said?
I guess so, pending, discovery on whether Hermes agent is just categorically better, then I'd say there's no point in doing it. We should just do it with Hermes agent instead.
Right. Okay. Look, now, are you across all this? Have you been working with Eddie, or is this the first time you've heard of Hermes?
First time, I'm focusing on Microsoft Copilot Studio.
Okay. Yeah, that should not be the case. You should definitely be working closely with Luke,
Okay.
because I don't want you wasting effort with what
My-
you're doing and what he's doing.
My understanding was that Luke was just working on Copilot Studio.
I think he's also worked on OpenClaw, right?
Well,
I'm not working on OpenClaw. I just like I have a brief test, but I think the plan is you want me also like to deploy to OpenClaw, yeah, from the
I
Spring.
want to release both, hopefully at the same time, and I want them, feature parity if possible. Now-
Yeah. And last time we also discussed we need to do a train the fed for both. Yeah.
Yes, that's right. One after another.
Yep.
Luke, do you join the daily scrums for this team?
Yes.
Do you join the meeting?
No, not when I'm on client work.
No, when you're not on client work.
Yes.
Today?
today's sprint review, there's no daily scrum.
Okay.
So he's only ever off client work when we have sprint reviews.
Yeah, I'm trying to fix it so that
Yeah.
Luke says, yes, of course I've heard of Hermes. Eddie told me during the daily scrum, or, I was CC'd or something. This is not the time. This is the time to sync the stakeholders, not the team members.
Right.
Okay. All right, let's keep going.
Sounds good. And those were the key points to call out from sprint backlog. Did you have anything you wanted to see in detail? If not, I'll move over.
Well, I'm just wondering, is Luke going to be showing me anything?
Luke has a
Plus
issue
one
down
in-
here that I
in
was going to
progress,
cover.
yeah.
It's just still in review at the moment.
Okay, but that's been the same for months. Isn't there something?
I'm pretty sure this issue came by like a week or 2 weeks ago, not.
Maybe that specific issue,
Yeah,
but
In terms of
I haven't
Sophie
seen
GPT as a
anything
whole.
from Sophie GPT for months.
right. Yeah, I was going to jump into this issue here, so maybe Luke can cover it and explain it to you.
Okay.
So
Yep.
moving over to this issue here that's carried over into the next sprint. It's for deploying Sophie GPT to SSW's production environments. So he's had me do a couple rounds of testing on the UAT environment, and I've given him some feedback. So Luke, if you want to take over here and then explain it.
Yeah. So Adam, for this one, so this one is to deploy to Sophie GPT to production. Yeah, but for there have been like several tasks, which is like deploy to UAT using pipeline, deploy to prod using pipeline. And after that, we found some like bugs and did some fix. And in current state, so I'm asking Michael Q to do a test on UAT, and Michael Q found a bunch of issues. I did the fix, and the status of now is there's a 2 remaining query issue I need to fix. And after that, we can go to prod. Yeah. Any question?
No.
Sounds good. So yeah, that's pretty much the state of Sophie GPT at the moment. There's a couple bugs that are still stopping it from going into production, but I've already addressed those and passed those off to Luke, so he'll be focused on fixing those. Moving back, taking a look at our recent velocity, we've bumped up to 79% this week. We've committed to 28 points due to the reduced capacity of the team. And yeah, looking down at R&D, Luke, can I pass it to you to cover the R&D?
Okay, so for Eddie, he's working on doing some testament on local LLM, and another thing is Column have an idea of like using AI generated down videos. Yeah, but I think the cost is like $2 for one video. Yeah, it's a bit of high. Yeah, and the third one is sub-agent code reviews. Let me see. I'm not sure about this one.
Yeah, so I've been
Yeah.
focused on using skills with sub-agents to try and give an unbiased review of my code from a different perspective. And I found it to be pretty effective, although it's a bit token heavy. So yeah, those were the main things in R&D that we've done this sprint, and I'll pass it off to Eddie to cover the AI tool usage.
Yeah, no changes individually, although this week we've had a bump from Opus 4.7 to 4.8. So now everyone is using 4.8 by default, and that's the only change.
And do you want to cover the AI stats as well?
Yeah, so AI stats, Claude stats, I think captured everything that we talked about well. So all the crystal ball fixes and the tiger fixes, in addition to my tail scale and Hermes agent setup for the local LLM machine. Copilot stats here, we've got Michael Q speaking mostly as he was the mediator, and then the main issue to be completed ships the SSW crystal ball homepage. I believe was the sprint goal. That's a good job, AI.
Awesome. Moving on to the sprint retro. Can I pass it to you, Callum, to cover the sprint retro?
Yeah, so Michael said crystal ball progressed smoothly. There's a few issues, but it's pretty good generally. I said the local LLM work is cool. I'm keen to see what else we can do with it, particularly with if we can turn it into a consulting service for people who don't want to use cloud-based LMs. What didn't go well, I said a lot of time is taken up by crystal ball, which isn't really AI work. And actually just building on that, one thought that I had while you were showing crystal ball stuff was, is there some way that we could actually pull information about individuals' AI usage into the crystal ball reports? So we could see not only how long do you spend per PBI or per effort point, but also how many tokens do you use per PBI? I don't know how hard that would be if we need everyone to, run some custom service to link their thing up to a database on our end that stores all the information or something. But I think that'd be really cool to report on. So that's something to think about. What else didn't go well? Losing Michael to client work means no full-time devs on the AI team. So I think I said Michael's a victim of his own success here, in that it's good for him, but not good for the team, as we no longer have sort of the pillar of the team. Improvements for next sprint. So Michael Calmanetti said Hermes agent as a consulting service would be a good idea. We already have a consulting service on OpenClaw. I guess it would be good to have like a rule that says, when do you suggest Hermes agent? When do you suggest OpenClaw? Do you ever suggest either of them? A social post, etc., etc. I said I think it would be good to adopt these AI generated done videos as a standard process. It was really cool. It was a really cool way of sort of reviewing what the AI's done, is actually get it to show you what it has done in a video, which includes playwright recordings of what it did and its own and your own voice talking you through it. One other thing that was cool about it was in the process of recording the done video, it sort of automatically finds a bunch of bugs and fixes them by itself too. So it sort of acts as a good way to help keep it on track. And yeah, evaluate Sophie Claw versus Sophie Claw and OpenClaw with Hermes agent as opposed to OpenClaw, I guess.
Now I'm not really sure, but did you talk about how it was a bit of a surprise to you what Eddie was working on, and that you wanted more visibility or oversight of what he was doing?
No, that wasn't brought up in the retro. I guess unfortunately I've missed the last couple of sprint reviews due to client work. So I didn't even know what had been agreed to. I didn't agree to whatever he was doing anyway because I wasn't here. So
Okay,
Yeah.
if you're going to miss one, maybe you need to say, hey, Adam or somebody else, can you take over that? Like, you know, could be me, could be Josh, could be Cookie, could be many. Yeah, I think probably I didn't know that, but that's a good answer. Yeah.
Also, just on that, so as you just sort of pointed out, Callum, you're kind of losing your linchpin developer at the moment with Michael going on to client work.
Yep.
I think maybe this is documented somewhere, but I've just gone to the repo. There is no information on what it is that we're trying to do in this team, and so maybe it would be worth like Michael doing a quick 2-minute or 3-minute video just going, hey, here is the AI team. These are the problems we're trying to tackle, and these are the goals that we're setting out to achieve. So at least that way, when we have other developers coming in, even if it's for a few days, they can just watch a quick 2-minute video and figure out what it's all about.
That would be cool. Except my understanding of what this team is achieving is a collection of miscellaneous tasks. For example, the crystal ball thing is not AI, but it's within the remit of the AI team. So I guess the video would just be a list of assorted items, which may be still valuable.
Okay. Fair enough. Maybe not a video, maybe even just like something in the README, because I'm assuming it's the SSW.ai repo, right? And the README just says general miscellaneous stuff. And so maybe having like a checklist of things that there actually are on the to-do list right now might help a little bit.
Yeah, I could definitely create that after this meeting. Just spin something up to give like a rough overview of everything that we're doing and things that we're prioritizing.
What
I'm
would
just
be the
looking at
difference
this.
between that and like the list of epics on the backlog? Should it maybe just link to the epic view of the backlog?
Oh, that's a
I
good
think-
idea.
So we don't
Yeah.
have to keep it up to date.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's a good idea.
Sweet.
Cool.
In that case, moving on, we'll jump over to the forecast. So for this upcoming sprint, we have 2 goals. One is to get Sophie GPT into production. So Luke will be focused on fixing those 2 remaining bugs that I've reported and getting me to retest before deploying. And then the next thing will be to get the V4 video for Crystal Ball ready and out to stakeholders. So I'll be in charge of that once I'm back off of client work. So we'll be having a 2-week sprint this time around, just because our capacity for the 1-week sprint is too low to justify having a sprint review, sorry. There is the public holiday next Monday to take into account. So we've accounted for that here. I'll be updating the capacity here as that'll change, since this was generated with the assumption that this was a 1-week sprint. But I believe I'm the only person that would get more capacity here. Luke will just double and Eddie will just double because they're on a preset schedule. This is what we have planned in the backlog at the moment. So getting that V4 video done, a couple crystal ball features that Callum has asked for and maybe asked for a prioritize on. So I figured I'd look into that when I have the time. And then Sophie GPT, as well as this Content Hawk issue that Caleb has left. To my understanding, it is just the video. So I'll take over for getting the video edited with the TV team and then showing it off to stakeholders. Moving down to backlog changes. So the AI has called out everything that we've spun up as new issues we've updated in comments, and issues that we've removed from the project. And moving down to our AI stats, I'll pass it back to Eddie to cover these.
Yep. So for the Claude stats, it captured all of the next steps, I think. And then for the Copilot stats, yeah, getting SSW set foot into production is definitely one of the pending tasks that needs to be done. So that is also tick.
And Eddie, do you want to just cover the Tiger dashboard?
Yep, I'll just take over the screen share.
Sounds good.
So, we got 75% sprint velocity, so 21 of 28 points delivered, and 1 of 2 sprint goals hit, which is pretty nice. The next sprint capacity, it did not correctly capture that, as the next sprint is going to be a 2-week sprint. But other than that, the feedback, especially under insights, is pretty interesting, especially with the concerns of Crystal Ball, with not being an AI project on the AI team. So we're keen to sort of wrap Crystal Ball up and move on to some more AI work. In terms of the contributions, I think everyone did a great job contributing during the meeting. Everyone had some very insightful suggestions, and the feedback is constructive, but it's not too brutal this time. That's nice. And yeah, that's all I have to show.
What do you like? I can see that was a lot more positive than the reports before from AI. Or are you doing anything different just so AI is happier?
I think
I
not
think
consciously.
yeah, it's mainly just when you get this feedback week by week, you kind of just start actioning certain points.
Really?
AI print like.
Can you give me an example?
So for myself, when I did the first couple of sprint reviews, I found myself often freestyling certain things. So, I'd have the Scrum Master open an issue and then I'd just try to explain it off the top of my head.
Mm.
And then, there just wouldn't be things that I wanted to specifically cover. So now I'm kind of putting in all of these screenshots, kind of running through it before the sprint review, mentally at least,
Oh,
so that I know exactly what I'm saying on each issue. So yeah,
cool.
sweet.
Yeah.
If that's everything and no one wanted to see anything in particular, I'll take back over the screen share. So this has been the SSW AI team for Sprint 14 Review and Retro and Sprint 15 Forecast. Everything will be uploaded onto the SSW AI channel. Thank you guys for joining me this week. I'll see you guys next week.